Tonight we're going to talk a lot about education and introduce you to a couple of education superstars here in the region. And Gordy Rush is here. I wonder what he wants to talk about. Roll it, Kyle. You know, I'm pretty excited about tonight's show, and it's not just the fact that Gordy's going to be here later on. It's actually to talk about something that is so important to the future of our region, and that is the education of our children. Joining us in segment number one here in Studio A is Preston Castille, who is a member of the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education here in Louisiana, but is also the Chief Executive Officer of Helix Community Schools. Now, Helix has a portfolio of 3 schools: legal, aviation, and artificial intelligence. Fascinating stuff. So I want to start right there. Prez, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Clay.
Let's start at the beginning about Helix. You and I were chatting before we started. How did this all begin?
Well, you know, our mothership, as we call it, is Helix Mentorship STEAM Academy. It's a high school. It's located in downtown Baton Rouge. And that school has just done a wonderful job being a part of the fabric of the downtown community. It's a STEAM academy, and so we focus on science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. That school really has done a fantastic job. It is the top performing open enrollment high school in East Baton Rouge, and we're very proud of its academic success. But it also has reached out into the community in so many different ways.
Okay.
Started 12 years ago. It has now led into the opportunity to create a legal academy, which is a middle school located downtown Baton Rouge, as well as the aviation academy, which is extremely popular and very innovative, and obviously lots of folks like talking about it.
Well, I'm going to start right there. It's on the periphery of the Southern University there in North Baton Rouge, and I've gotten a chance to go there and see the kids in the classroom and the things that they learn. It's a beautiful campus, but why aviation? Was it just because of proximity to the airport, or was it something that you intentionally wanted to do?
Yeah, it was very intentional. So as I mentioned about the high school, with mentorship has the only Air Force Junior ROTC program in this area. We have about 130 cadets or so. That has been a fantastic program for kids. Great for inspiring kids to be successful, to be disciplined. And we looked at, one, that relationship with the Air Force, but also we had a partnership with a big economic driver in North Baton Rouge, that being Southern University.
Yeah.
So as you know, Clay, I'm a lawyer, a law professor, been teaching at the law school for many years, hence the creation of our legal academy that supports what we're doing with the law school. But when we looked for how we might expand our footprint in an area where kids need us the most, we look again to North Baton Rouge. We've got Southern University, but we also have the airport. When we married up our desire to be in North Baton Rouge, our Air Force Junior ROTC program, it was an easy decision to decide to go into aviation. One, because we've got that great opportunity in terms of the airport, but at the time when we came up with the idea of aviation, we talked about, this was 5 years ago, that there would be a shortage of pilots, and aviation professionals. And when we said that 5 years ago, and we said, here's the data, and we will find ourselves in a few years with a huge shortage of pilots, no one really knew that we were going to have COVID and the problem that we're having now and experiencing. And it's absolutely clear that this school, as a K-12 school, helping kids, will create a great opportunity for children to get into the aviation profession.
Look, I love it, and I love the idea that you're building potential pilots for the future right there on really contiguous to the airport there. The model of a charter school is so fascinating, and over the years, people have come to really understand that these are public schools. In the beginning, it seemed like people thought that charters were a break from public. No, they're public schools.
That's right.
You just have a wider latitude to nuance the way that you deliver the information to the kids, and this has proven to be successful with a number of schools, not just here but around the country. Why is that so effective for you? I mean, you sit on the Bessie board too. Why is it so effective to not put educators in a box, to let them find innovative ways to teach kids?
Yeah, I'll use aviation as a great example. So our aviation academy is located on the airport. how many schools are located in an airport in Louisiana?
Right.
We've got a 10,000 square foot hangar. We literally have aircraft, airplanes, helicopters, jets that taxi into the back door of our school.
Right.
You know, you might have a car, you might have a pickup truck
Right.
that might taxi up to a school, but
Not
to
an
have
airplane.
an airplane, not a jet.
Right.
And we literally can fit multiple airplanes.
Yeah.
We have taken kids in both middle school and high school on discovery flights, and they've flown with all sorts of volunteer pilots from all over Louisiana. Where in America, a few places, can you find, but certainly not in Louisiana, an opportunity for kids to have that sort of experience?
I love that. We'll come back and talk with Preston a little bit more about that portfolio. And I'm going to introduce you to the principal at Lanier Elementary, who's got a fascinating way of making certain that students and parents are advancing. And then in the final segment, Gordy Rush is here. Looking forward to that. We'll see if he sticks around. Back in 2 minutes. Stay right there. So we've talked about a lot of the successful things happening at Helix, aviation, legal, artificial intelligence. Before I get to the overall state of education here, because you're also elected to the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education, let's talk about the AI campus that is going to be in the Opelousas area, right?
That's right, that's right.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Sure. So the St. Landry Parish School Board, who I have just incredible respect for, voted 13-0 unanimously to approve the creation of 2 new schools in the city of Opelousas: Helix Artificial Intelligence and Medical Academy and Helix Agriculture and Energy Academy.
Wow.
The AI and Medical Academy is scheduled to open fall 2024. We hope to break ground this summer and have the new school constructed to begin August 2024. We'll open the second school, which will also be a K-12 school. It'll start off as a K-8 initially, and that's Helix Agriculture and Energy Academy. And you can imagine why the two particular areas.
Sure.
AI and medical, big in that particular area.
That's right.
Ag and energy, likewise, huge for that particular area of the state. And we think that it will do fantastic things for the students in the city of Opelousas. And we're extremely proud of the partnership that we have with the St. Landry Parish School System.
Did you ever receive any pushback in the creation of this?
You know, Clay, I will tell you that it was remarkable to me that we did not. In fact, the community reached out to us. It's been extraordinarily positive. We've gotten support from the business community, from the philanthropic community, from the church-based community. The outpouring of support has been wonderful. And I think that the community, which by the way is my hometown.
Yeah,
I grew up in Opelousas, I grew up in St. Landry Parish, and to have that relationship to go back and support the students who need the most help in partnership with the local school board and school system has been a wonderful experience, and that's what it's all about. It's the entire community coming together to wrap its arms around children and families to support them in an incredible way, but also bringing together business, industry, the church-based community. It is a phenomenal relationship.
Man, I can't say enough how much I love what you're doing there. As I mentioned, Preston is a representative on the Bessie board, as we call it here, District 8. Let's talk a little bit about the state of education in Louisiana as we move into the second half, if you will, of this school year.
Yeah, things are, I think, going well. When we look at what we've been through over the last several years, it's been challenging. With COVID coming out, our school system have all reacted in different ways.
Sure.
But we've gotten some success. I'm so proud of our teachers who do just incredibly hard work to support children in difficult circumstances. And many of us would say that that's too hard to do. But the teachers that we have love our children. They know that it's a calling, and they continue to step up every year, and deliver a good quality education to our children.
I'm going to have Nicole Jones in the next segment. She's the principal at Lanier Elementary, and she and I are going to talk about something that I'll ask you about in this last minute or so. Teachers have to wear multiple hats now. It's not like it was a quarter century ago. It's very different because the kids are in different circumstances. As both an executive with schools and then a member of the education legislative body, talk about that a little bit, all the hats teachers have to wear and how much more difficult the job is.
Yeah, teachers have a special place in heaven.
No doubt.
Because the things that they do, that their mother, their father, their caregiver, their psychologist, they love their children. and children find comfort in their teachers. And for that, I applaud anyone who chooses to go into this most admirable profession.
No doubt.
So it is noble. It is one that I can encourage young people to go into, because you can do nothing more than give the joy of education to a child, and that's what teachers do.
Anytime and every time you want to come here to talk about what you're doing and get the word out, you always have time.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Clay.
Nicole Jones will be on set next to talk about what's happening at Lanier Elementary. Teachers have a special place in heaven, I agree. Guess where Gordy has a special place? He's in the last segment. We'll talk to him then. Nicole Jones is the principal at Lanier Elementary. Got a chance to go out and visit with Nicole, I think in early December. Maybe
Correct.
we got a chance to talk about some of what's happening there at the school. Got a couple hundred kids in the school. Is that right?
Correct, that's right.
And how long have you been there?
I've been there going into this year right here will make my 9th year working for Redesign Schools, Lanier Elementary.
And I was going to say, Lanier is a part of the redesign portfolio that includes Glen Oaks Elementary and Dalton Elementary as well.
Yes.
All right, so I want to get right into it. You heard my last question to Preston Castille about all the hats that teachers wear now, and I've heard this a lot because I'm a part of an initiative helping to get the word out about some of what these schools are doing. And it's one of the things I hear the most is that you have to do more than just show up and teach. And last week, the coach of the Terra High basketball team, ladies basketball team, talked about he has to be a father, an uncle, a referee sometimes in addition to being a coach. Could you talk about that, the multiple hats that your teachers have to wear now?
Absolutely. There are multiple hats that my teachers have to wear, as well as myself.
Yeah.
You know, we have to be the mother, father figure, counselor, sometimes the babysitter, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes they need us to kind of nurture the kids, but we wear multiple hats. You have to be the nurse, you know, a psychiatrist for these babies, you know, and it's because you love what you do.
Yeah.
You know, if you love teaching, teaching is more than just teaching.
You see, there's that thing that y'all have when I talk to teachers about the job they do. It's that intensity, that passion about it. And most people miss that if you're just doing a job versus living a purpose. And I think that's what we often miss about people who are teachers or people who are in medicine or in law enforcement, is that you have to love this as a purpose. It can't just be a job, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. You have to definitely love the job because it is a lot of work, you know, especially since COVID happened, you know, we
Yeah.
have those gaps that we tried to close, but not only that, it was kind of traumatizing the kids. You know, we had to give up everything that we was doing in one day and go strictly to virtual learning.
Yeah,
So
look
that
at
was
these pictures.
kind of shocking for us.
See pictures from things that you guys have done at the school. I remember when we met in December and we were talking, you were a week ahead of doing a movie night where you were going to be showing the Polar Express.
Yes.
And it was going to be like a pajama thing for the kids with hot cocoa and all of that. You know, that gives a lot of kids a sense of normalcy. We sometimes take for granted that every child is in environments where they do these kinds of things. That's not true. Some kids are in environments where they don't get to experience these kinds of things. So how do you balance doing those things that help a child become well-rounded with also having to make certain they learn and perform? How do you balance the two things?
So how we balance that, every month we do parent meetings, and I want the parents to feel involved in all of the kids' academics. So what we do at parent meetings, sometimes, you know, I fix it to where parents are welcoming when they come to our school.
Sure.
We do things for them as well because we want them to feel appreciated. So for that Polar Express night, I opened it up to families, not just the parents, but they could have brought like extended family.
Yeah.
And we watched the Polar Express movie. We actually had like the kids do a performance for them as well.
Okay.
They did a dance performance, then we had an art show, and then we kind of mingled and we did the Polar Express to spend that quality time that sometimes they kind of miss with their kids because they're busy or something like that, to kind of take time out of the day to give those parents the opportunity.
See, I love highlighting things like that here. That's one of the things that I love doing on this show, is letting people know that. So let's talk about something that you have at your school. We were chatting about it earlier. So at Lanier, you have foundation coaches and you have acceleration coaches for the kids. The foundation coaches work with the teachers to make certain the kids have a base understanding of what class they're in, right? And then the acceleration coaches are there to support the students in progressing to the next grade level or understanding the information. I think this is wonderful. Talk about that a little bit.
So yes, we do have foundation and acceleration coaches. Our foundation coaches help to bridge those gaps that students are missing from previous years. They collaborate with the teacher to see whether the students are performing, and they work on those skills. And acceleration coaches, they kind of work with the students that are on level and that need to be pushed to the next level. We have time carved out of our schedule, like an hour block, where it's intentional in the classroom. Sometimes there are more than just the acceleration and foundation coach. You have the classroom teacher, you have the ESS teacher, we have literacy assistants that all support those students in the classroom.
I have a little more than a minute left. You also have something for parents, Parent University. Talk about that a little bit.
So Parent University is the literacy program that we implemented at Lanier Elementary, and it's to support parents with those literacy skills that we are lacking across Louisiana. We partner with Louisiana Reads, who comes out and do they do workshops with the parents to help them with those skills, to educate them, to help them support their students.
Well, look, same thing with Preston, but the next time you come here, you got to bring some students with you.
Absolutely.
You got to bring some of the kids with you, and they can come on set and we can talk about what you're doing. If people want to learn more in 30 seconds about Lanier, how can they go find information?
They can go to rsl.org, and all of our information is on our website.
Nicole Jones, keep the great work going.
Thank you.
All right, so next segment will feature Gordy Rush. I haven't seen him since he said he was in the building a little while ago. Remember what he said back in August? We may ask him about that. And then next week, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're doing with the homeless population. Got an update on something that's on the way. We'll tell you about it next Friday. Back in 2 minutes. Stay right there. I would never gloat, especially because the season is not yet over. I don't really talk trash. I don't really make these grand predictions about things. But then there are those who sometimes do. Gordy?
Let's say it. It's Championship Sunday. Our Niners are playing for a chance
I almost
to
left
get
my
to
own
the Super
set.
Bowl.
Our Niners.
Our Niners. I'm representing. How about you? I mean, God bless. You've got, looks like you have Chiefs colors on. But
How
good to be
dare
here.
you, sir.
Well, you have red. Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
You said at the beginning of the season
Yeah.
that the Cardinals would win the division.
Who?
Arizona.
Arizona who?
The Cardinals.
Do you have that on?
Yeah,
tape?
absolutely we do. You said that,
Right.
and then you said we were going to win. What did you say?
12 and 5.
No.
12
Rush.
and 5.
No, you did not. It was. I think you said 5 games.
Okay.
And then Jimmy G comes in. You said
Jimmy
we're going to
G.
get there because
Jimmy G.
Yeah. Then he gets hurt.
Well, he got hurt. He'll be back this week.
No, he won't.
But he won't practice.
Yeah, okay.
But he's going to play.
That's fine. We don't even want him in the building.
Okay.
So, and then you get Brock Purdy.
Yes.
Clearly, you never heard of
I know
Brock
Brock
Purdy.
Purdy played at Iowa State. Remember, he
Everybody
played
knows
Jalen?
that now.
Sure, absolutely. I follow Iowa State. I do college football on Saturday. So yeah, absolutely. Had a great run. Great run at Iowa State.
What's your take on the game last weekend?
Last weekend, I think that the Niners are exceptional on defense, which we all know, and I think they did a good job of getting Purdy the man of the football game, and Prescott threw the 2 picks. Dallas was dysfunctional on defense, and Niners deserved to win. They were the better football team.
You were let's talk about the other side before we get to championship weekend. Joe Burrow.
Yes.
I mean, what else can you say? The list of superlatives. Right. I mean, we've exhausted all of them. Cincinnati 25 years ago, man, was a dumpster fire.
Awful. And truthfully, voted the worst franchise. I mean, the Brown family and all that, and you go and you make one pick, and then, of course, them deciding to take Jamar Chase with the number 1 the next year instead of getting the offensive lineman has proven to be a wise decision.
Yep.
Look, I told you, 2018, 2019, having to when I was a sideline reporter for that team, I'll never see a college athlete with that level of maturity, that level of football IQ. Just, he was special. I was never going to see that again, and this was a great year for LSU. Nothing surprises me Burrow's going to do.
Well, Kansas City obviously won last week, but a high ankle sprain on Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's not going to heal in 6 days. So how does it limit what he does?
Well, he's going to have to get rid of the football quickly, right? And
that's not his thing, because he holds it and runs around.
It's not his thing at all, and especially a high ankle sprain, and then playing on it, right? It's not as if he got off of it, so he only made it worse. There's no way he's going to be at 100%. And I like the way that the Bengals defense is playing. Kansas City really hasn't established the run game. The second thing I think was a big factor in that Buffalo-Kansas City game was the snow, because it was slick. And the Cincinnati offensive line is their Achilles heel. They have 3 new starters in there, and Buffalo just, you couldn't get any traction. And if you have any sort of a cold surface or anything like that, and you give Burrow time to throw the football, I like Cincinnati in this game.
So, look, I say in most cases in sports, you are what you earn.
Right.
Philadelphia has earned that #1 seed. I, as you know, love my team, the 49ers.
Okay.
But I got to say, that's a buzzsaw. And it's going to be hard to go into there and win. It's going to be tough.
Talking with Todd McClure, former Atlanta Falcon, he said that's one of the toughest places to play. I mean, that's a nasty environment, Lincoln Field up in Philadelphia. And they did, they were wise in resting Hurts. They were still able to get the #1 and get him going. I've been impressed with Jalen Hurts, who's come a long way from Alabama. I mean, they benched him because of some of the inaccuracies throwing the football, and that's why they played Tua. He went to Oklahoma, got a little bit better with Lincoln Riley, and really has made nice strides in the NFL. And I like the package that they use. Philadelphia's going to be tough to be, for our Niners to beat.
What's your prediction for this weekend?
Right. So I have our Niners and the Bengals playing in the Super Bowl on February 11th, I believe. February 12th, I should say.
Our Niners.
Our Niners.
You have no shame, sir.
No, sir. I mean, go roll the team. 12-5.
That's
Had them
not
win
what
in the
you
West.
said.
Was it not?
You picked the Cardinals.
It was 12. There was a 5 and a 12 in there. 12-5. I think I had the Cardinals 5-12.
No, you did not.
Right.
What's the score?
Of which game?
Of the NFC Championship game, since you're picking
NFC
our
Championship,
Niners.
I think 21-18. Our Niners win that football game, and I have a little bit higher
we're
scoring
doomed,
game.
though, right? Because he picked us.
I've got it 31-27 Bengals over Chiefs.
30 seconds left. If we get to the Super Bowl against the Bengals, which would be the 3rd time those franchises have played.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right, in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Who wins?
Well, I think it's a tough game. I don't like picking against Burrow, but I'm going to take our Niners winning 21-17. Should be a great game.
I cannot believe how little shame you have at this moment right now.
Proud of my Niners. What a job they've done this year. John Lynch, those guys, incredible job.
Folks, okay, we're getting out of here. Good luck this weekend. Go Niners.
Go Niners.